So it's a very large subject. Best quality supplement with Sucavu can handle this problem. Sucavu is a citizen company directed by Mr. Zen and a talented team with ambition to help the population all around the world. We have several working teams, including the one coordinated by our scientific committee, for a good quality of presentation and constant improvement. Our team wants plurality, multidisciplinarity, and versatility in our communicational approach. This passes through the control of certain mechanisms of action of cannabinoids on diseases, the control of their properties, as well as the indication with an emphasis on all pharmacovigilance. So today, you know that the strength of our country is an institutional bilingualism that Sucavu also respects. I would like to introduce you to Mr. Ngajoud, one of our senior paramedical leaders, for today's presentation in English. After this, all your observations and questions will be welcome. Okay, Mr. Jude, you have the floor. Mr. Jude is also the man who manages our intensive care unit. Okay, Mr. Jude, you have the floor.
Thank you, Doctor, for the opportunity. Greetings to everyone, Madame Rosa, greetings to all of you. Good morning there, here in Cameroon is evening. It's always, I'm singularly honored to be given this privilege to present this wonderful work by Dr. Raymond, who is a public health specialist and a researcher of Sucavu. Today, we'll be talking on weight loss, high blood pressure, hypercholesterolemia, cancer, skin affections, and the role of the wonderful products of Sucavu, which are based on cannabinoids. So we are going to start right away. As we all know, Sucavu is a real people, real spectrum, and real cannabinoids. And it's worth noting that the Sucavu philosophy is not just a lifestyle. One of its priority is to come out with excellent and supreme products to maintain our health. And it's also good to know that Sucavu is a company that combines science, beauty, health, performance, and several opportunities. Here we are going to look at the effect of cannabinoids on the body. And like we know, cannabinoids have three main categories. We have the phytocannabinoids, synthocannabinoids, and the endocannabinoids. The phytocannabinoids are extracted from the cannabis plant itself, the synthocannabinoids from products, that is pharmaceutical laboratories, while the endocannabinoids are produced by the human body itself. We also obtain it from food such as omega-3s and the omega-6s. Now, these cannabinoids have receptors, endocannabinoid receptors in our body, and there are two principal cannabinoid receptors, which are CB1 and CB2. And the activation of these receptors have very diverse effects on the central nervous system, the brain, the nerves, and all the ramifications. They also have immune systems effects and on macrophages. So now this CBD, which is part of the cannabinoid that Sucavu focuses on, because it is natural and its effects are very good. It's not like the other components of cannabis, which are actually banned in certain countries. Cannabinoids, this CBD has an anti-inflammatory function, anti-proliferative function, anti-cancer, vasorelaxant also. So we are going to look at how all these components of CBD can actually be extracted and used to maintain optimum health, which is actually the work that Sucavu, through its main researchers, has been doing. Now, we are going to look at how most of these Sucavu cannabinoid products are being taken. And it is worth noting that there is no dosage recommendation which has been validated up to date. And we also need to take into account that the dosage of cannabinoids are from, we have 300 milligram, 600 milligram, and 1,200 milligram vials. We can gradually increase the dose and assess efficacy and the tolerance. So these are the parameters we need to take into consideration when consuming these products: the dose, the efficacy, and the tolerance. We also need to know how the patient is responding by the current condition, the route of administration, and the concentration of cannabinoids. Here we have cannabinoid oil, 300 milligram. From the first to the third day, we can start by taking 15 sublingual drops in the evening. From the fourth to the sixth day, we take 20 sublingual drops in the evening. And from the 7th to the 10th day and beyond, we can repeat the 20 drops 3 times a day for effective dose, depending on how our body is responding to it. Then for the cannabinoid oil, 600 milligram, from the first to the third day, we see that the dose is actually reducing. Now, instead of taking drops, we are reducing down to 7 drops in the evening. Instead of taking 20 drops from the 4th day to the 6th day, we take 14 sublingual drops in the evening. And from the 7th to the 10th day and beyond, we repeat this dose 2 to 3 times a day if the dose is effective. For cannabinoid oil, 1,200 milligram, from the 1st to the 3rd day, we reduce, we go down to 4 drops in the evening. From the 4th to the 6th day, we take 8 drops in the evening. And from the 7th day and beyond, we repeat the dose 2 to 3 times in the evening. Here we have cannabinoid oil with the several doses, which we are just from presenting the dosage, how the prescription to you, how to take them. We have 150 milligram, 300, 600, and 1,200. And it is worth noting that each of these cannabinoid oil has a taste. You know, some have coconut taste, some have cinnamon, some have mint and vanilla. And all of them contain CBD, CBG, CBDV, CBN, CBC with an entourage effect, which is respected for various indications. Now let's look at the effect of cannabinoid on weight loss, which is something that most of us are suffering from. On this slide, I present to you our brother who is seemingly obese, and we can see that here he's trying to migrate from living or feeding on processed food. We know that processed food have a lot of fat, and that play a big role in weight gain. And we would like to present to you that it's best to consume fruits and vegetables. And Sucavu has good news because it has actually come out with a formula, you know, in which we can have all these products made on fruit, vegetables, and some bit of CBD to help us to lose weight. Here we have Cavu trim and obesity of Sucavu. Yeah, this is actually one of, it's an excellent product in weight loss, which we'll present it to you today. And Cavu trim of Sucavu is a real cannabinoid with enteric effect. And it is also combined with vitamin B6 for excellent results. It boosts metabolism, rapid energy production, increased concentration, reduces appetite, maintains blood constancy indicated in cases of overweight. It's also a very good association with hemp and pea protein and hemp super green. Now, the hemp and pea protein is a dietary supplement, and it's also a meal replacement with vitamin complex, which are blended together, and they stimulate and build healthy muscles and bones. It also allows maximum absorption of biologically active proteins. The hemp super green, the ingredients are mainly vegetables, fruits, and cannabinoids. See, it's actually an excellent product, and combining 10 very powerful antioxidants, which ensures detoxification and optimization of cellular function, ensuring healthy digestion and optimizing energy levels. And it is also important for starting a weight loss program. On this other slide, we progress with the effects of cannabinoids on high blood pressure. We know that high blood pressure is actually a public health problem in our society today. And here I will present you the three main stages of hypertension, because the normal blood pressure, as we can see on the slide, is when the systolic is less than 120 millimeters of mercury, and the diastolic of less than 80 millimeters of mercury. Now, for stage 1 hypertension is when the systolic blood pressure is 130 to 139. That's the range, systolic, and diastolic 80 to 89 millimeters of mercury. In stage 2 hypertension, the systolic blood pressure is 140 millimeters of mercury or higher, and the diastolic is 90 millimeters of mercury or higher. Now, hypertensive crisis, which is stage 3, where you actually need to consult your doctor immediately, is when the systolic blood pressure is higher than 180 millimeters of mercury and the diastolic is higher than 120. Now, several studies around the world, I will present to you a series of studies around the world which have actually proven that CBD regulates the activity of cyclooxygenase, which is a key enzyme in inflammation. We know that most of these pathologies in our body comes as a result of inflammation. So through anti-inflammatory and antioxidant activity, so that CBD acts also on CBD1 receptors, and these receptors liberate nitric oxide, and nitric oxide in return helps in the dilatation of blood vessels, that is arteries. The CBD also has an effect on water retention. We know that water retention is when there is excess sodium in cells. So with the introduction of CBD, it causes the inflow of potassium ions in the cells, which lead to the output of sodium ions, inhibiting water retention. CBD also modulates stress response, has an anti-anxiety effect. Central action of CBD is also to control the endocrine response, and it also have an effect on the peripheral nervous system, the ortho and the parasympathetic. Now, CBD results from a study carried out in Brazil in 2019 also indicated that CBD inhibits stress-induced blood pressure. Yes, there was also a randomized crossover study whereby patients were taken just at random, and at the end of the study's result have it that those who took CBD, CBD was acted as a vasodilator. So patients who took CBD prior to their exposure to stress experienced a minor rising of their blood pressure lower than those who were on a placebo. CBD also lower heart rate, and studies has proven that CBD lower heart rate, and that is why Sucavu has actually taken the initiative to come out with this CBD to help us to fight against cardiovascular diseases. Now, in this slide, it's just a resume, a summary of the effect of CBD on body organs. Like for blood vessels, we saw that CBD is a vasodilator, and as a vasodilator, it improves blood flow. We know that when there is stagnation of blood, it causes most of these cardiovascular problems. CBD also acts on the heart, by decreasing oxidative stress in heart of hypertensive patients. It also acts, and when there is blood circulation, in conditions like stroke, when there's increase in blood circulation in conditions like stroke, CBD comes in to help in that. It decreases neuronal damages, oxidative stress. It acts on the liver and kidney and retina. It acts on the retina to prevent one of the complications of diabetes mellitus. Yes, still on the diabetes, one of the components or one of the chemical that has been found to be very useful in managing blood pressure is nitric oxide. And here I present to you the 3 Nobel Prize winners of medicine in 1998, Farid Murad, Luis J. Ignaro, and Robert F. Fugard, who discovered this wonderful molecule in the body. So here I want us to just understand this slide, that nitric acid, as our age advances, the percentage of nitric acid in our body decreases, because normally our body has the ability to produce nitric oxide. And so this nitric oxide with age tends to reduce. And with the reduction of nitric oxide, there is risk, or there is production of fatty deposit on our blood vessels, that is atherosclerosis. And this reduces the blood lumen and leading to increased blood pressure. So we see what nitric acid does. And Sucavu has actually come out with an extract of this nitric oxide, to boost the one that our body produces. So for most of our parents who are already aging, with this nitric oxide boost, which Sucavu has come out with, it can actually help them in a series of ways. Like, it's an anti-inflammatory, it's an anti-atherosclerotic, which we have seen how it reduces with age and it causes atherosclerosis. Nitric oxide is anti-thrombotic, probiotic, anti-aging, antioxidant, anti-oncogenic for cancer, anti-stress, and anti-hypertensive. The functions are really many. So here, I have good news for most of our patients, or most of our clients who are suffering from hypertension. That Sucavu has actually come out with Cavu Nox Boost, which contains a non-selective activators of nitric oxide synthesis, whose health effects have been described, but also contains other ingredients with various benefits for the body. It contributes to fight against high blood pressure, stress, inflammation, atherosclerosis, as we have seen in the previous slides, immune dysfunction, and tiredness. Here we look at the effects of cannabinoids on hypercholesterolemia. And this is as a result of a metabolic syndrome. And a metabolic syndrome comprises of some symptoms, a combination of symptoms, which are high blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess body fat around the waist, high cholesterol and triglycerides, with excess risk of heart diseases, stroke, and diabetes. Now, the question is, can CBD treat cholesterol level in blood? As we can see in this slide, these are fatty deposits on our blood vessels. And with these fatty deposits, there is risk for high blood pressure and cardiac pathologies, that's cardiac diseases, which may set in as a result. So a lot of publications, a lot of studies has actually proven that CBD upregulates cholesterol level by biosynthesis, enzyme, and translocation metabolic proteins. Multi-omic analysis have also revealed that cannabidiol disruption of cholesterol and homeostasis in human cell lines. So it is from these products, or from these studies, that Sucavu has actually extracted most of this CBD in the diverse form for us to use and get optimum health. Here we are also going to look at the effects of cannabinoids in the prevention and care of cancer. Yes, here we have to know that CBD has CBD1 receptors on the skin, and when these receptors are activated, there is an intracellular action, which is a complex pathway. I don't want to get into that. It is actually complex. What we need to note here is that with the activation of CB1 receptors, the result is apoptosis, that is programmed cell death. This leads to cell growth inhibition. So this actually helps in breast cancer and prostate cancer. And we know that the pathophysiology of cancer is that we have uncontrolled cancer growth, sustained angiogenesis, and metastatic capabilities. Now, with cannabinoids in cancer cells, there is induction of apoptosis, There is inhibition of proliferation. There is inhibition of angiogenic signals, inhibition of adhesion, inhibition of migration, and inhibition of invasion. Okay, that is that. We look now the effects of cannabinoid also on the skin, on the skin. The skin has its own endocannabinoid system to which CBD can bind. Yeah, that is, God is actually marvelous. And it is also effective in a wide range of skin problems. So CBD, which has been extracted by Sucavu, and when we use it to boost the one that our skin is producing, it gives very excellent result for situations like wrinkles, eczema, psoriasis, acne, pain, and dry skin. Most of us in Africa are actually, especially in Cameroon, are suffering from all of these. Now, how does CBD work in acne? You know, acne is actually one of the problems that we face on a daily basis. Now, we know that the mechanism of acne is, for acne to come out, we have hyperkeratinization, we have hyperseborrhea, and inflammation. Now, with the introduction of CBD in the body, there is activation of the CB1 and CB2 receptors. What do these receptors do? They block this pathway, this mechanism by which acne is produced. And in doing that, they lower there is decreased hyperkeratinization, decreased hyperseborrhea, and decreased inflammation, helping us to fight against acne and preventing our body from developing acne. CBD also has also been having an effective rule in maintaining the good health of the dermis of the skin. It has an epigenetic action on the differentiation of genes, effective as a topical alternative for skin problems, controls the expression of genes encoding all defects in skin cells by blocking them and causing apoptosis, cell death. It relieves inflammation, relieves itching and burning, insect bites, infections, injury. It is indicated for pimples, clogged pores, blackhead, face defects, eczema, psoriasis, wounds and bumps, flabby and patchy skin, and skin rash. Okay, in this other slide, I present to you, or we present to you, skin cleansers and tuners. Yes, and these cleansers, as we have Supreme Face Toner, Clarifying Facial Serum, Daily Deep Cleanser, Aging, again, which all of them acts against acne and make the skin clear and soft. They are perfect for all skin types, and including oily skin. Yeah, including oily skin. Here, these are the serums. These are the various Sucavu serums. Yes, and in the pack, we have Clarifying Facial Serums. We have Nourishing Eye Serums, Anti-Aging Serums, Ultimate Facial Serums. Yes, all of them act against anti-aging, anti-wrinkle. They are hydrating, anti-acne, anti-inflammatory, revitalizing, making us look more youthful and fight eye problems. We also have the Rescue Balm. Yeah, the Rescue Balm, which is one of the best products that acts against psoriasis. It's worth noting that the Rescue Balm is very effective. We can look at this picture. I don't know if we can see it on my slide here, where someone with psoriasis before and then after using the Rescue Balm, the results were actually visible within a couple of weeks. You know, the result we are good. You know, it is combined with sea buckthorn oil, healing compounds, ideal cannabinoid for burns, sunburn, skin rash, dry skin, and general skin conditioning. We also have here the Citrus Splash Body Cream of Sucavu. Yes, this one hydrates, softens, and rejuvenates the skin, healing and repairing the skin, suitable for all skin types. I think our ladies should actually go in for this one. Yeah. Here we also have body polish of Sucavu, as the name is polish. Yes, it is exfoliating, an exfoliating scrub with very fine shell powder to remove dead skin cells. You know, the combined action of it and of cannabinoids smoothen the skin and give it a radiant appearance. It has delicious and fresh scent on the skin. You know, an orange and mint scent on the skin. And now the Sucavu score package, packages, the combination of Sucavu products, most of them are mainly dietary supplements, which include premium proteins, Cavunox Boost, hemp and pear protein, hemp supergreens, Cavu trim, cannabidiol, for an inexpensive package. This is the package. You order for this package, I think you not regret. And in conclusion, in the view of the above, we highlight the effect of CBD. Once again, like a summary, that CBD has an effect on excess body fat by reduction of appetite. It helps to lose weight considerably. Has an effect on hypertension. Controls our blood sugar. Regulation of cholesterol. Acts on cancer. CBD also acts on skin health, and we can say that CBD contributes to fight against metabolic syndrome, which we saw, which is a combination of these symptoms. Phytocannabinoid, which is one of the sources of the cannabinoid that Sucavu uses. They extract the cannabis plant. Yes, this one is extracted from the cannabis plant, as shown by several studies around the world. That phytocannabinoids has a very, very vast anti-rage effect. Yes, and it is contained in all Sucavu products and played a major role in the fight against overweight, high blood pressure, hypercholesterolemia, cancer, skin affections, in prevention, also have preventive and curative purposes, as we saw in the mechanisms. They are recommended in progressive doses to reach the optimum effect. As we can note that the doses depend, the effect or the efficacy depends on the doses and the underlying condition. Yeah. Here we have our our real spectrum of proline is something which is meant for everybody. Everybody can use Sucavu product. Sucavu is not just only a CBD company. We are a cannabinoid company producing excellent natural product for your optimal body health, including skin problems. Thank you all for your keen attention.